Now the latest ITV News Central with Matt Teal and Samina Ali Khan.
Hello, good evening. On the programme tonight, the warning for trespassers dicing with death on Midlands railways.
It still shocks me when I see things like this. It's just absolute stupidity. Very, very, very dangerous.
A right royal opening for the new jewel in Jaguar Land Rover's crown.
Why business for this Christmas jumper maker means a festive fight.
And a sneaky peek for the boys in bronze who've become the model Birmingham family.
Hello, good evening. Jaguar Land Rover's new engine plant was opened by the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh today. The factory will employ 1,400 people, with many more in the supply chain.
The firm has targeted high unemployment areas to recruit from. JLR and industry experts say it's a signal that the company is planning a long-term future in the Midlands. Our business correspondent Mark Goff was there.
A quick lesson in engineering from Jaguar Land Rover's German boss, Dr. Ralf Speth. Probably wasn't what the Queen was expecting today, but that's what she got. The royal family have had a few Jags and Range Rovers over the years, but unlike other customers, they get to see where their cars are made. The company's Indian owners, Tata, have spent £500 million building this, and it's huge, the size of 14 football pitches. They'll make engines for the company's new models, the first time they've done that. Previously, they've bought engines in from other car companies like Ford. 300 work at the engine plant now while it's getting started, but soon it'll be 1,400. Paul Bassett has got a job here. He used to work at MG Rover just before it collapsed.
I didn't think manufacturing from an automotive point of view would excel back in the Midlands, and I think the size and scale and the investment that JLR have put in here is, simply says for itself the exciting times that we have ahead.
It's just a personal achievement as in my lifetime that I've actually got to see the Queen in my workplace, and for me to be able to tell my kids that I've actually seen the Queen, so it's just been a really exciting day.
I think it's absolutely incredible because I've never been close to anything like that before, but also I think being a local lad as well, I'm very proud that they've actually chosen to come and open up a factory so close to home.
It was a tremendous honour that Her Majesty came up and helped us officially open the facility. There was tremendous pride of all of our employees. I mean, most of them are very, very new either to the industry or to our company. And to see everybody celebrating the official opening today in the presence of Her Majesty was just a terrific day.
The first engines made here will go into this, the Jaguar XE. That's being made at Solihull. And new jobs here too. Aaron Griffiths is one of the long-term unemployed who's been taken on by the company. How long were you on the dole for?
6 months. And I was only working for 2 months before that, and I was on the dole for another 9 months before that. So 25 months into always 2 months off in the middle.
And what did it mean to get this job?
I got security again now. I mean, when I was on the dole, I was only getting money every now and then housing benefit. And now I know that I can always front the bills whenever I need to now. I'm not going to worry about it.
It's thought the 1,400 jobs at Wolverhampton would create another 5,000 in the supply chain.
This is a brilliant message for manufacturing in the West Midlands. £500 million worth of investment that sends a clear sign that manufacturing can work in the UK and actually can thrive and create jobs that are of long-term benefit for the local economy.
The company say they are here for the long term, and its boss couldn't hide his delight at today's royal visit. Mark Goff, ITV News, Wolverhampton.
Next, British Transport Police want to trace 2 young men who forced a train to make an emergency stop while trespassing on tracks at Craven Arms Station in Shropshire.
CCTV images from the platform show the 2 men running backwards and forwards across the tracks over and over again before being narrowly missed by an oncoming train. Callum Watkinson reports.
Craven Arms Station in Shropshire is unstaffed. For this young man, the ideal spot for a deadly game of chicken. Apparently encouraged by others on the platform, he and another boy run repeatedly back and forth across the tracks, at one point forcing a train to make an emergency stop.
After many years in the British Transport Police, it still shocks me when I see things like this. It's just absolute stupidity. Very, very, very dangerous. The shock that these incidents have on train drivers approaching, because train drivers are very limited to what they can do to stop the trains. All they can do is blow the horn and apply the full emergency brakes, and there's nothing else they can do.
Travelling by train is, we are told, safer than it's ever been. Nobody has died in a train crash in Britain since the Grey Rig disaster in Cumbria 7 years ago. Trespassing on the tracks, however, is much more dangerous. In the year to March 2014, 308 members of the public died on railway lines. Take away 279 suicides, and of the 29 remaining deaths, 21, almost 3/4, were the result of trespassing on the track.
There is nothing more dangerous than running in front of a high-speed train. At this station, some trains do stop and some trains continue straight through, and it's continuing through over 70 miles an hour. I have no idea what would make them do something so stupid.
The police are now appealing for help to find these two. Trespassing on railway lines carries a maximum fine of £1,000. If their stunt had gone wrong, of course, they'd have paid a much higher price. Callum Watkinson, ITV News.
Hundreds of jobs are at risk as Walsall Council tries to make millions of pounds of savings. Council officials outlined the extent of the cuts at a meeting last night. The authority is now consulting the public over the draft proposals.
The council needs to save £86 million over 4 years, with £29 million coming in the first year. It would result in 487 job losses, the closure of 8 libraries, 12 children's centres and Walsall's museum. Bin collections would go from weekly to fortnightly.
The leader of the Labour-run council is now calling on community bodies to step in and help run services.
Unfortunately, the grant that we have from government has been cut over many years, not just recently, but this year we face the biggest cuts ever that Walsall Council's ever faced, and we need to find £29 million worth of cuts for the year 2015-16. We've set out a 4-year budget which takes out £86 million of grant funding from Walsall Council. Unfortunately, it will be a different council completely after that 4 years than it is now.
Children's rights activist and Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala Yousafzai has received the World's Children's Prize after a global vote involving millions of youngsters.
The Sweden-based awards organisation said the 17-year-old, who now lives in Birmingham, won the prize for her courageous and dangerous fight for girls' rights to education. She began speaking out for the rights of girls at the age of 11 and was shot in the head by a Taliban gunman. She donated her £31,000 prize money to rebuild schools in Gaza damaged by fighting.
I think it will definitely help those children to continue their education, to get quality education, and it will help them to continue their life and to know that people are supporting them and they're not alone.
In other news, an airport satisfaction survey has ranked Birmingham International as the second best in the UK to start a holiday from. The Saga study placed Birmingham just after Glasgow in terms of queuing, the cost of food and parking, cleanliness, noise, and of course the helpfulness of staff.
138 buildings in Birmingham will be transformed into Wi-Fi hotspots. The government's announced that people will soon be able to get online at the library, the council house, excuse me, and the Bullring Open Market is part of a multi-million-pound investment to transform the country's digital capacity.
Europe's largest off-road show is due to open today at Stoneleigh Park in Warwickshire. Fans at the International Dirt Bike Show will be able to check out the latest machines, watch live racing and get involved in activities at the 4-day event.